from the Shastra. It's a verse, and we can see, I wish I was learning. But we see this over here, that Prabhupada goes on to say that the preliminary qualification for entering the devotional service of the Lord is that one become a willing cooperator, and one should voluntarily cooperate with persons who are already engaged in devotional service. By cooperating with such persons, the prospective candidate will gradually learn the techniques of devotional service, and with the progress of such learning, one becomes proportionally free from the contamination of material association. Such a purificatory process will establish the prospective candidate in firm faith and gradually elevate him to the stage of transcendental stage for such devotional service. Thus he acquires a genuine attachment for the Lord, and his conviction carries him on to the point of ecstasy just prior to the stage of transcendental love. So we see this, that in the Madhurya Kadambini, Shraddha Bhajana Kriya, so Shraddha Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivriti, Ruchi, Ashakti, Bhava. Oh yeah, Nishtha. Yeah. After Anartha Nivriti comes Nishtha. After Nishtha comes Ruchi. After Ruchi comes Ashakti. After Ashakti comes Bhava. And after Bhava comes Prema. And Prabhupada has literally put those 9 angas in this purport right here. Right? Everything he's saying. So, what's the first thing? And we should know this. These are the 9 stages of devotional service that a person undergoes. So first thing is Shraddha, and that's what Prabhupada is speaking about, that the preliminary qualification for entering into devotional service of the Lord is that once one becomes a willing cooperator. Willing cooperator means, we put our faith in the process of Krishna consciousness. We put our faith in the process of Krishna consciousness. It's called Shraddha. And then the second sentence, Prabhupada, or the second part of this sentence, Prabhupada is saying, and as such, one should voluntarily cooperate with persons who are already engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord. That is sadhu sangha. That we cooperate with the devotees and perform devotional service. That's why when, this morning when I saw the moon-like face of Bhakta Ethan, I became so happy. And, yes, he came back into the Association of Devotees after, going to school. How long were you gone for? That seemed like lifetimes for everyone in the temple, especially Jacob. He was dying in separation from you. But we were all thinking like, man, Ethan's gone for too long. Like, what the heck? This is crazy. This and that. But but isn't it so cooling and amazing to come back into the Association of Devotees? It's like the most nectarian thing. And I used to feel like that when I went to school. I had to go to school for like 6 hours sometime, and I'd go the whole morning. I'd be with the devotees, and in 6 hours after school, I would like see the devotees, and I would like be so anxious to see them. I would go and hug all the devotees. Like, Prabhu, I was missing you guys so much. It's so horrible. But when you're away from the Association of Devotees, it's like, my God, this is like the worst thing in the world. You suffer, you suffer like hell. It's so bad, being away from devotees, It's so bad, like thinking, oh my God, dude, this is like so painful. It's so painful to be away from devotees. And one thing I realized is that, Karmis, and I realized this from being with my family, that their tongues have the potency to vibrate unlimited prajalpa. Just unlimited, just and like, okay, call me a fanatic, whatever you want to call me. I remember being on the Brooklyn Bridge in New York, and then, I was supposed to spend like the next 9 hours with my family, and I no way, 9 hours with my family. And then they were driving me, and then I was just sitting in the car, and they were just talking and talking, and I just like picked up my Kindle, and I was like reading it, and then I just couldn't take it, and it's like, stop the car! Stop the car now! And then they're like, what happened? Stop. I said, I saw the train station, it got out. I said, I can't handle this. And I just got into the train station and went back to the devotees, I couldn't handle this, It was just such torture, just torturous. I couldn't handle it. It was so, and then after that, then now my family associates with me strictly on my terms only. I told them, y'all talk nonsense. I'm walking out of this conversation right now. Okay? And call me puffed up. I'm giving you my association. I'm not taking your association. No way. I'm not eating what you cook. You're eating what I cook. Or I'm not eating, Just hands down, no question. I don't care, I don't. And then, now my brother, he performs so much devotional service on my, when we go to his place, and he has like one brahmachari room, just for the brahmacharis, and we have a bathroom, and then when we go there, especially in summer season, at least for myself and Tyrese, Krishna Keshav Prabhu has had better mangoes in India, but for myself, and he bought us the best mangoes we could ever eat. Remember that? Like every day, like our dinner used to be like, six of the best mangoes, 6 mangoes, and in the morning we would have something else and have some other mango. And then he bought like all the stuff for us. And when we were moving things in, my brother would like Hare Krishna Prabhu, and he would say Hare Krishna Prabhu to like Krishna Keshav and myself, but and Tyrese, but he would never say that to me. But whatever. But he would carry like their bags and put it in, and and then he said, yeah, we need water in our van, and he filled up the van with all this water. And now because of association with devotees, he's becoming so much purified. He's donated like vast amounts of money to the temple. I mean, that it doesn't stop there. He's going to give more. But, donated, all because of association with devotees. He's associating with devotees. He's inspired, So sadhu sangha is so important. What is this? A verse. Oh, man. This is a really amazing Bengali verse that, sadhu sangha is needed in the beginning stage of... No, not that one. Come on. That's everyone. But the sadhu sangha is needed in the beginning stage of devotional service. And even when you attain prema, sadhu sangha is needed. I know it too, but I'm not. You know the Bengali? You used to know the Bengali in his past life when he was Bengali. But he still looks Bengali. But what is this word? Sadhu Sangha. No, I just quoted that. That's the definition of Shraddha, right? Shraddha Shabdi Vishwasa Kuri Shuddhita Nishchay. But what is this? No, don't. That's not it. Don't act like you know. Okay, so what is this? Oh, man. Sadhu Sangha. No. Sadhu Sangha is needed in the beginning stages of devotional service and the ending stages of devotion. If I know like any word other than Sadhu Sangha in that verse, I'll remember it. But anyway, so the point is Sadhu Sangha is needed in the beginning stage of devotional service and all the way in the end stage of devotional service also. Without Sadhu Sangha, there's no performance of devotion. Yeah, Krishna Bhakti Janma Mula Hai Sadhu Sangha. Krishna Prema, was that? Can you please be quiet, Tyrese? Yeah. Punar Mukhya Anga, right? This is such an amazing verse. Krishna Bhakti Janma Mula Hai Sadhu Sangha. Krishna Prema, Krishna Bhakti Janma Mula Hai Sadhu Sangha. Krishna Preme Janme. Hoy Punar Mukhya Anga. Right. Even when your dormant love for Krishna is awakened, sadhu sangha is required. And so, association of devotees, my dear friends, is the most amazing thing. The most amazing thing. There is nothing more amazing than association of devotees, because when you associate with devotees, you chant the holy names. Staying awake in Mangalati becomes way easier. Am I right, Ethan? It's like staying awake, becomes so much easier. Naturally, what are y'all going to eat? No karmic grains, at least not in Christian life. No karmic grains. You're going to eat prasadam. What are y'all going to do? Are y'all going to go watch the movies? No, y'all going to go out on book distribution. You're going to what are you going to do? What are you going to clean? Are you going to go clean some other nonsense? You're going to be cleaning your hearts and cleaning the temple. And naturally, everything comes about. Naturally, everything comes about. So it's very important. Sadhu Sangha is very important. Oh man, I really wish I can get through this purport, but let's see if I can control myself here. Cooperating with, okay, so then Prabhupada, so preliminary stages will incorporate. And once you want, so that's Sadhu Sangha, right? Once you cooperate with persons who are already engaged in transcendental loving. By cooperating with such persons, the prospective candidate will gradually learn the techniques of devotional service. This is bhajana kriya. Then we learn the techniques of performing devotional service. That by associating with devotees, we learn techniques like how to chant attentive japa. Right? One devotee, he was relatively new and he was not able to stay awake in the morning. I told him better we, not fully stay awake, half asleep. And that's the worst, because you think you're awake, but you're not, and you're not asleep. So if you chant japa and we're half asleep, it's oh man, that at least fall asleep fully, or you don't fall asleep. But if you're half asleep, that's the most dangerous, So And we should nip it in the bud. Otherwise, unfortunately, I've seen devotees who've been chanting for 20 years, 30 years, and they just completely in the half asleep state, and they're completely knocked out, and they pull a bead. And they pull a bead. Like that, like this. Not this bead, but this bead. They pull these beads, Hare Krishna, and like that. So I've seen them do it so many times. So yeah, we should not cultivate those habits. So, I was telling him that, we should understand our conditioning, where we come from. That when we were a karmi, what time would we wake up every day? 7, 8, 9? Late, so late. So we have our body for however old we are when we first come to devotional service. Let's just say, we're 20 years old or 25 years old. So for the first 25 years of our life, our body is accustomed to not staying awake during the Brahma Muhurta. We are brought up malechas, right? That's what we are. We are brought up malechas. So by nature, by our very lifestyle, we train our body to not be awake during Brahma Muhurta. That's our training. That's the rigorous malecha training we've undergone in our life. That's our training. So if that's our training, then we should not be so quick to assume that, yeah, now I'm fine. I'm in the association to it. I'm going to stay awake. Most of the time, we fall asleep during that time because we are conditioned to being asleep during the Brahma Muhurta. So unless that conditioning is reversed, we should be very cautious of this pitfall that we may have. That's one. It's a simple thing. Bhajana Kriya is a technique of devotional service, but it's important to know. It's important to understand this technique of devotional service. Again, so many other things. How to offer food. Bhajana, basically techniques of how to perform your bhajan. Bhajana Kriya. And then Prabhupada goes on to say perspective will gradually, and with the progress of such learning, one becomes proportionately free from from the contamination of material association. By performance of bhajana kriya, then what happens is we become gradually freed from anarthas that we acquire from associating with material nature. It's all anartha nivritti. Artha means something which is wanted. Anartha means something which is not wanted. These are anarthas. So anartha nivritti. Nivritti means the destruction of. So when we perform devotional service, naturally what happens is that we have faith, we come into the association of devotees. The association of devotees teaches us the techniques of how to perform our bhajan. And by performing this devotional service, then our anarthas will go away. Anartha nivritti. And then what happens at the stage of anartha nivritti? We see this. Okay. Such a purificatory process will establish the perspective candidate in firm faith. So when we perform this purificatory process, then you're established in nishtha. That means firm faith. That a faith which cannot be shaken. That is a very important thing. We're established in nishtha. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, until the platform of nishtha, we're running away from Maya. And when you come to the platform of nishtha, you start running towards Krishna. You understand that? As of now, we're like, oh my God, Maya, oh my God, I'll run away from it. But then you see, wow, there's Krishna, that's Krishna. Jai, let's go. Let's go all in. And a symptom of one who has nishtha is that enthusiastic always to perform devotional service. And this we can notice in anyone. If they're on the platform of nishtha, you can notice it in anyone. Like Bhrigupati Prabhu, obviously it's at least on the platform of nishtha, if not more. At least, minimum. Every day enthusiastically chanting his names, enthusiastic in Mangalarti, enthusiastic in taking prasadam, enthusiastic in association devotees, enthusiastic when he's out there on books. 50, you can't fake it for 50 years. Come on. Who can fake it for 50 years, But you see, fixed, Kamalini Mataji fixed, she's, Apurva Prabhu fixed, that they're doing this, and this is what they're doing, and that's it, And they don't give up. Kamalini Mataji was telling me, I don't distribute so many books. I go and I just, I used to struggle to get $5 for a hardbound Gita. But now, because of associating with the devotees from Krishna life, I'm able to, sell these books for so much more money. And I was really shocked. I thought I could never do it. When she distributed her first Bhagavatam set, that was the most ecstatic thing in my life. She distributed Bhagavatam to the devotees before, but A cold sail to a Karmi? Never. She did it like she was. I could see she was like tears of joy. She was so happy. She was so happy. That was like I was like Krishna, kill me now, man. Like I just like did one good thing in my life. It just somehow served this great Vaishnavi in this process. She was so happy. But I was thinking, I was really like, like relishing like her advancement in Krishna consciousness. I was thinking like if I went out there and every day of my life I was just doing like not so many books, would I have lasted? And like I mean, I'm just like I'm like a palakankshi. See, we're reading this in the Bhagavad Gita the other day. Palakankshi, a person who's overly attached to the fruits of the results. I'm that demon. Like I'm that kind of demon who's like overly attached. And I was thinking I'd have to go out there and just do huge. And just if I don't do it, I just feel like I've like wasted my human form of life, or I wasted today. But that Nisha, no, this is pleasing to my spiritual master. If I do huge or not, the nectar is in the endeavor. And when she's out there, she's not mental. Mataji is not mental at all. She's out there, she's going, she's approaching everyone, and like, she just goes for it. And she came out with this for God knows how many hours. Like, how many hours was that? Come on, like, we left at 10. We left from our house at 9. Yeah, we left from our house at 9. We got back at 7:30, 8 o'clock. She was out there with us for 11 hours at the age of 70 something. Can we imagine the level of taste they get from devotional service, these devotees? So amazing, But yeah, because at least they're not running away from Maya, but they're running towards Krishna. That is Nishtha. And that much we can see. And we can also see this. And gradually elevate him to the stage of transcendental taste for such devotional service. That's called ruchi. This also we can see that they have taste. If you don't have taste for devotional service, then how will you come to this? How will you be able to do what you're doing day in, day out for like so many decades? Impossible. But they're doing it. We can see this is taste. Without having taste, how will you be able to do it? And then the next one, is taste for devotional service. Thus, he acquires a genuine attachment for devotional service of the Lord. And genuine attachment is ashakti. That genuinely attached. We can see this. Oh man. This also we can notice that devotees are genuinely attached to the service of their spiritual master. There is genuine attachment here, man. Now, you can't make this up. We're going into the trenches every day. These devotees are ready to die with their boots on. Can't make this up. They're ready to die with their boots on. That they are willing, they're in it to win it all the way through till the last minute. Till the last minute, they're not giving up. Last minute. They'll be the last man standing. They'd rather die on the battlefield than retreat. Because to retreat is not an option. They've reached a point of devotional service in their life. It's the point of no return. This is the point of no return. There's a point of we burnt our ships. The only way forward is front, and we kill our enemy. That's it. You come on your ships. You and your army come on the ship to the neighboring army's kingdom. Y'all empty out all your stuff and you'll burn those boats. There's no way back. Only way is forward. You're reaching the point of no return. So this is it. There's a point of no return. You have to go through it. And how do you acquire ashakti? Can anyone think of the word ashakti being used in the Bhagavad Gita? If I said, everyone knows this verse for sure. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Shakta Manaf Partha Yogam Yunjam Madashrayah Asam Shayam Samagramam Yatagyasasi Tatshrunu. You were about to say it? Okay. Maya Shakta Manaf Partha. If you want to develop ashakti towards me, Maya Shakta. Maya Shakta is the first verse of the 7th chapter. Maya Shakta Manaf Partha. And if you want to develop ashakti towards me, Yogam Yunjam Madashrayaha. You perform devotional service unto me. And here, Asamshayam Samagramam. I will destroy all your doubts. Asamshayam Samagramam. Yata Gyasati Tatshunu. Just hear with faith. Hear with faith, you'll develop ashakti. And we hear with faith from Krishna. Chinna Samshaya. That's why one of Lord Krishna's names is Chinna Samshaya, the destroyer of doubts. I just heard this whole series again because it's so amazing. Bhakti Vikas Maharaj gave 4 series lectures on this Chinna Samshaya. It's very amazing. But if you simply hear with faith, all your doubts will be removed. And you'll develop Ashakti. Ashakti, the point of no return. And then service to the Lord, genuine attachment for the service, Ashakti. And his conviction carries him on to the point of ecstasy. And this is bhava. This is bhava. They're very expert at hiding, the devotees who are on the platform of bhava. They're very expert. We can't figure it out. The only 2 things we can understand from the really elevated devotees is Krishna Sambandha Vina Kala Vyartha Nahi Aaye. They do not waste any time in not serving Krishna. They're very consciously aware of their time, and they use every minute in the service of Krishna, every moment in the service of Krishna. So this bhava is like when the sun rises, the first few rays of the sun, right? We see this, right? Now we're used to waking up in the Brahma Muhurta, right? So we see when before the sun rises. This is the first few rays of prema, the first few rays of ecstatic love for Krishna. And the last stage is bhava. So it's prema. So the last stage is prema, ecstatic love for Krishna. And that is amazing. That's the goal of our chanting, our reading, everything that we're doing is to attain prema, pure love for Krishna. And we perform our sadhana to receive the kripa of the great devotees like Srila Prabhupada and his faithful followers. We perform our devotional service, we perform our sadhana, we perform all these things to receive the blessings of the parampara, because ultimately, bottom line, we're performing a sadhana to receive their mercy. Like with my sadhana, I'm going to do. No, our sadhana is begging for their mercy. That's our sadhana. We're chanting around so we can one day receive the mercy of our Guru and Guru Srila Prabhupada and the previous acharyas in Krishna. That's why we're performing a sadhana. And then when we receive their mercy, our sadhana and sadhya are the same thing. Our sadhana, performance of devotional service, and the goal of our devotional service is the same thing, because everything in our devotional service will be completely enriched with prema when we receive their mercy. But at least we can do is we can at least come to the platform of Nishtha, unshakable. Unshakable. They should not be able to break our faith in Krishna, faith in the process of devotional service. Always have that faith. Krishna is going to come through no matter what. Forevermore, no matter what. Krishna is going to come through. He always has and always will. He may test you, but he'll come through. Prahlad Maharaj, when they threw him off the cliff, at this point you told in that comment that you made in my class, so that Prahlad Maharaj was like putting his hand on the super soul, and they on his heart, and they asked him, "Why are you doing this?" Because he said, "My body may get hurt, but I don't want the super soul in my heart to get hurt." They were throwing him off the cliff, and that's so amazing. He's so Krishna conscious. My God. I don't want the super soul to hear this, to feel this, I don't want the super soul. So he puts his hand on the super soul, And then when they throw him off the cliff, he's falling and falling. And Krishna doesn't catch him right away. He catches him all the way in the bottom. Krishna came through no matter what. So Krishna is going to come through no matter what. Krishna is going to come through. And then we can develop, further and further and further by the mercy of the spiritual master. So this goes on. And anyway, and Vishnu Chakra Thakur also says that all these different angas of devotional service, they remain all the way until we reach the point of bhava, like, anartha and everything goes on all the way until you reach the point of bhava and a little beyond that. So these things go on as an ongoing process, But the most important thing is sadhu sangha. Krishna bhakti janma mula hai sadhu sangha. Krishna prema janma hoy. Krishna prema janma hoy mukhya anga. That this is a very important thing to understand. We always need to be in the association of devotees. It's 8:51, and I'm just going to, say one important thing that we should always, that the 2 things of devotional stage, science or aspects of devotional service being spoken about here are sambandha and abhideya. We understand our relationship with Krishna, and we understand how to perform that devotional service to Krishna. And when we perform this, then we naturally, make advancement. And when we make advancement, by associating with the devotees who are absorbed in the Bhagavatam. Like my Guru Maharaj, he's completely absorbed in the Bhagavatam. And the only thing on his mind are books and farms and books and farms and books and farms and books and farms. And the orders of his spiritual master. I was thinking, how absorbed should a person be to write a book like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati? Like Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhava. How absorbed, completely absorbed, totally. And I was saying, how absorbed should a person be to write the mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada? Completely, just completely meditating upon Srila Prabhupada, so much so that he becomes a personification of the mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada. It is very amazing, actually, when associating with such a person. That's why we should always die to associate with such a person. Muktanam api siddhanam, narayana parayana, sudurlabha prasannatma, kotishvapi mahamune. That muktanam api siddhanam, there may be, a person, there may be so many people who are into mukti, there may be so many people who have a siddhis, but there's very few, very, very, very rarely does one attain a person who's narayana parayana, who's completely, enriched in thoughts of the Supreme Personality of God and devotional service. So our goal should be to get the mercy of such devotees who are absorbed completely in Srila Prabhupada's service. That should be our goal. So I'll end the class here. Pranamami Sada Prabhupada Padam. As always, pray to stay at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada and his faithful followers. If there's any questions or comments, we can take them now. Krishna Kesha Prabhu, do you have anything?
A point which I wanted to mention after the class, you just mentioned at the end a little bit. All these angas, 9 stages of devotional service, each and every stage has the before anga inclusive in that.
Yeah.
And it goes on until prema, everything is in potential.
Until bhava, right? Until bhava, prema.
Because
anartha and everything gets read only at the prema.
Prema
Bharat Maharaj.
Prema, you have other, like the Shuddha Shraddha.
Yeah.
You have sadhu, like, all the devotees are sangha. Anarthas are not at all there, fully nivritti. And then bhava, ruchi, asakti, kanta is there. In prema also different stages are there.
Yeah.
The point is that every stage has different, inclusive of everything. Because if not is not there,
how will you do the other things?
How will you going to achieve the other one?
Yeah. I wanted to get into it, but so... I had to read the...
Acharyas have given in each and every aspect, like, Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Harinam Chindamani and Bhajana Rahasya, and Prabhupada gives in his books, we can't, it's difficult to get it, but they have given in many, many aspects, like each and every. Bhajana Kriya, what is that? What are the problems? Anartha Nivarti, what are the problems? In each and every stage, to improve Prabhupada's books, in, if we go through Prabhupada's, that's enough.
Yeah. And when we read the previous Asha, we see Prabhupada speaking about this here. Oh my God, Prabhupada speaking about that here.
It's very important point that when you are mentioning all the stages of this one, all the 9 stages are mentioned in one purport of Prabhupada.
Yeah, can you imagine? This is so amazing. I'm thinking I'm so foolish. There must be so much more here that I don't see. I have no idea. But hopefully by pramanai sadachara, sad abhyasa nirantaram. Right? Abhyasa, tad abhyasa, bodhayan atman atmana bhaktim apyuttamam labhet. By advancement of devotional service made in slow degrees. And how do we do it? Abhyasa, sadhu sangha, and and one more. Bodhayan atmana, and by complete surrender, by the whole process.
Means paraspara.
Paraspara, association. Sadhu. Anyway, there's so much. There must be so much more in here that I'm not seeing,
So that's why if you read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam,
everything is there.
Charitamrita, all the aspects in one purport, Prabhupada covers the
everything.
Whole. Anybody can become Krishna conscious just by reading one purport.
One purport. One purport.
One word.
One word. Everything is there. Anyway. Such a fool. Yes.
Just to clarify, before one can come to the platform of Krishna Prema, which is the highest goal, one has to